Computer. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elevating the Voice. This is Monday, April 6th, and we have Sula Myers on
Yes.
with us today, who is just a super cool human with an amazing life resume. And we're gonna just, talk to her and have some fun. I want to know how you built a rental empire personally, because
Okay.
everything else is just kind of, Sula. But I want to know how you did that and accomplished that, how many rentals you have, what kind of headaches you have with that, and what advice do you have for the youngins wanting to start building a portfolio, a real estate portfolio like you've done? Because I think that when I learned that about you, I thought that was fascinating.
hmm
Because you have how many? Over 20?
No, no, no. It would be really nice over 20. I
Okay.
have
Okay.
10 right now.
Okay, cool. You
I
have 10
stop at
rentals.
10 actually
Oh,
because
you
I'm in the age that it doesn't, I don't have kids.
hmm,
So I have enough now that I don't need
yeah.
it.
That's awesome. How long, what's your oldest rental that you own?
2009. That was my
Okay.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow. The crash, when the crash happened, I took
Right?
advantage of it. Yeah.
See, I know a couple realtors that did that. I actually knew a realtor when I first got at West USA 26 and a half years ago. I didn't realize until about 5 years ago that every year in real estate he bought a house.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
he makes like $25,000 a month in rental income. And he just
Yeah.
decides he just shows houses when he wants to show houses. So
Right.
his journey was fascinating. We should see if we can get him on. His journey was fascinating because when the market crashed like you did, you went and capitalized on it. Whereas people like me, I crashed with the market. So what I had as far as investment properties all went, "Ooh." And
Yeah. The
then they,
trick is to be steady when things get hard.
right, right.
So be
And then they,
patient.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Nikki just that turned Nikki off from ever doing that again. So we've never done it since. So,
Yeah.
such is life. So
So,
talk about that a little bit. How did you get into that? What made you think about doing that? And what was the journey to get you from one to 10?
okay, let me tell you about my journey.
Okay.
Well, I am from Ecuador, as everybody know. I came
Right.
here in 1993.
Okay.
I used to have a tour operator business is to the Galapagos Island. I
Hmm.
met my ex-husband in Ecuador, and we moved here after we got married. Then what made me think about my life was when I got divorced and I ended up with nothing. So I was,
Oh,
you know what? I need to build my own future. So
yeah.
I think the main goal or the main thing that you have to think is you have to set up a goal, a big one. It's like what is that you want to create from your own life.
Right.
So when I was younger, my goal was to retire at 50. So I was like, you know what? I have to do it, and I have to be. Everything that I will do has that is the ultimate goal. So how can I do that? Um, I went to school when I got divorced. I went back to school because I needed something to fall back. So I went for computer information systems, and that was when I was 35. So I graduated, and I worked in the IT industry for 10 years. And at that point, IT used to pay you a lot.
Mm.
So I was able to save money. I always lived beneath my means because I knew my ultimate goal was to get that rental, to get those rentals, to get that portfolio. So after while I was in working in IT, my boss told me at that point, "You are going to be really good in real estate." I had no clue what real estate was, and but he had been a commercial realtor
Hmm.
before he became my boss, and he said, "You can do it," and I was like, no, I don't want to go back to school. It just takes too long. And this is the funny thing. He said, it just takes 3 months. You just have to do that 90 hours and you will be good. And he said, let me sign you up. So he signed
Oh,
up. It was Bud Crowley School of Real Estate at that point. And he said, go to school. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, you have the license. So anyway, my first client, he got me before he also got me from his friends before I even finished school.
Wow.
So he was like, you have to get your license because I already have a client for you. So, so I started doing that. And of course, my first one was a complete disaster because I had no experience. I had, it was that, from that one, I learned that you cannot count your eggs right now. It's like, it doesn't until you hang the keys, is not done.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
I learned that from that, and after that, I was like, "Don't count your eggs. Don't do that." So anyway, he gave me my 3 first clients,
Wow.
and
Nice.
that is why one of my points in my notes to you was I really value the loyalty. So the deep mean of loyalty. So anyway, after that, that was around 2005. I kept building money to be able to have my nest that I want.
Yep.
I wanted to buy a home. And another funny story: when my real estate agent took me to see homes, she kept showing me homes, and I was like, I cannot afford this. And she was like, why? I said, because I just have 90,000 saved. And she was like, and at that point, the condo was 140. But in Ecuador, you don't have access to credit as easy as you have here.
Right.
Oh.
So for me, it was like, there's no way I can buy a condo. And there's when she said, that's why loans are for. And I was like, loans? What type of loans? She said, you just need like 3% or 5% to buy the house. And I could not believe it. Sorry, I was drying my hair, so I'm all
So you're okay.
now.
You're okay.
So anyway, so she introduced me to a lender, and I got my first home. But for me, in my head, because I grew up in another culture, having that was unheard of.
Right.
So I was like, oh my gosh. And how long is this loan? And she said, it's 30 years. I was like, no way. I will have to pay this for 30 years. There's no way. So I told her at that point, I'm going to pay this in 5 years. And she said, no, there's no way. You don't need to. It's like, you will be okay. I was like, no, but I don't feel comfortable. I am going to pay this in 5 years. So everything that I was making, I was putting towards my mortgage.
Wow.
And
So did you pay it off in 5 years?
in 7. I did
Right
it.
on.
Wow.
So when
That's awesome.
finished the 7 years, I start building a little bit more of savings.
Yeah.
Because my dad always told me, at least have 6 months of savings.
Agreed.
Like, you're going to need it. So I was like, okay, I need 6 months of savings. So So anyway, when 2008 hit, my mentor, the one that gave me the three first clients, he was a risky investor, and he lost almost everything at that.
Wow.
And that is when I say the deep value of loyalty, because people that open the doors for you, you have to be loyal to them.
Yes.
So at that point, I had the money saved, and the houses were, I never thought about that rental portfolio, but the houses were like 70. That house was listed at 120, but it has been in the market for like 6 months. So I called the bank and said, I give you 90. That's what all I had. So, and the bank said, okay. So they accepted it. And then, and then when I did the inspection, I saw that it had roaches everywhere. It was so much work.
Yeah.
And I was like, 75, I will give you 75 cash right now. And he said, okay, the bank just wanted to give it to you.
Yeah.
So I gave that house to my friend, and he said, I will pay you back. And he had a little money left at that point, and he said, let's remodel. With the extra money you had it, and a little bit I have, let's remodel it together. And I loved it. loved it, the entire process.
Nice.
And in one of my notes says, you cannot do all by yourself.
Right.
So when I had my coffee shop, the person next door was a flower shop, and he was an extremely good interior designer. And he also crashed in 2008, and I helped him a little bit. So he said, I will help you remodeling those homes.
Cool.
So with his ideas. So he came over and he was like, let's just drop that wall. Let's put the lights here. And I was like, oh my gosh. It came from, I said, it was historic property from those that Nick said they should go down. And
Right.
we gathered it inside and redid it. And I mean, I love going to the permits. I love meeting people, learning how to do things. And it became a passion. So the next, and my friend kept saying, he was so grateful. He was like, you know what? Save a little more and keep doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He said, you already pay your home, so you have home equity line of credit. So I was like, okay. And at that time, the homes were $50,000. You cannot even rebuild those homes for $50,000.
Right.
So I bought in the same street 4 more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
One every year. I was like, home equity loan.
Like Monopoly.
So, and that is, and remodel and make them beautiful. And with the help of my designer friend, he was like, oh, we have to keep the character, like a checker tile, black and white. So it was, they became beautiful. And I know that is another thing that I believe in is the details. The details sell a home.
Yeah.
So when you go in a house and you look at the house and you know that it's beautiful, but you cannot pinpoint what is beautiful. But when the sum of details is what makes it beautiful. So it's how the handle feels in your hand, how the light creates the ambience, the right colors, it is something that you're going to spend anyway, but you can make them something beautiful. So, and now when I represent sellers, I always go in, and not just the price and the transaction, but also I put my buyer's lenses on.
Yeah.
And I was like, if it was me, why would I buy this house?
Yeah.
And how can I make this house look beautiful with all those small details? So I wanted to learn more about that. So I went back to school for interior design.
Oh,
wow.
And
did not know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
However, I really believe that when you are a good interior design, you are born that way. It's like you can create things from scratch. I have the theory. I have the color palettes. I know how to combine things, but I cannot create it from scratch. But I have seen many people. I mean, I work with him staging homes. So I was like, you know what? You are amazing. I will never be able to imagine this, but I can see the beauty.
Cool.
And he used to tell me, you have to live, your home is your sanctuary, and you have to surround yourself with beautiful things. I've been accused of having a house that looks like nobody has lived in it because
it's so clean.
Thin and perfect.
Wow.
But
that's good though.
Yeah, this was my project. My home was my project when I finished designer school. We needed to create a project and we needed to build it. And I just bought the place. It was a blank canvas. And my mentor was my interior designer friend. And together we created everything from scratch. But he just asked me what your vision is, and I will help you creating that vision. So, okay, great. So I love my place. And that is one of the things that I remember from him. Surround yourself with beauty.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, I also believe in the power of high credit and low debt, high credit score, low debt.
Right.
Because,
Yep.
you know, I mean, Jeremy, he knows that the high credit, like 740 plus, is your presentation card with the bank.
Yes.
And a low credit, a low debt to income ratio is how the bank knows that you're going to pay.
Yep.
So when you have too much debt, the bank doesn't see you as a good partner, and it doesn't want to lend you for investments. But when they see that your credit score is over 800 and you have low debt, because I don't have that, that's one of the things. I know that some people said that you can buy more with credit, but I still believe that my peace of mind is not having that. So I do it in the opposite way. So
So do you own all your houses outright?
yes, except Portland on the Park
Wow.
has a tiny little mortgage. They not my place. My place is already paid, but Unit 408 has a little mortgage.
Okay.
But it's the interest rate is 4%.
Right.
The rent pays more than that, and so that's the only one that has a tiny mortgage. But
Okay, so on average, because this is I think you'll see where I'm going with this. On average, a year, how many transactions do you do from real estate concerned?
it depends. Maybe 6 to 8.
Okay, boys and girls on this call, 6 to 8 transactions a year. And since 2009, she owns 10 properties outright with a small loan on one. So when Nick was talking the other day, and he broke it down of how much we get paid per hour and how many hours a week we work. For those of you in the 777 Club, I'm pointing down because Sula's underneath me in the video thing here. You need to talk to Sula because that right there is amazing. If you all wrap your head around that, she has 10 properties. They're all owned free and clear. How many years did it take you to pay off each one, or did you end up buying cash? Kind of go down that path a little bit because I
No,
just fell off my if I would have fell off my chair when you said that because 2009 is 2026.
right.
That's amazing. In this amount of time, not only have you amassed a portfolio of 10 real estate properties, you own all of them basically.
Right.
Only doing 6 to 8 deals a year, boys and girls. Like exclamation point, Sharpie point. That's mind-boggling. Please share how.
So,
How?
you know, I always believe in healthy ambition.
Okay.
And when people hear the word ambition, they equate it to greediness. But for me, is the healthy ambition is the difference between a, falling a check, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it for a check, and a building legacy. So for me, is knowing why is that you're pursuing something. It's like mine was, I want to be retired or do whatever I want by 50. So I live beneath my means. It's not the competition of, oh, I am going to get this check and I'm going to like to buy the fancy car because that way I look successful. I mean, if you can do it, but the car payment that you just acquire, it lowers your ability to save for the next opportunity.
Right.
So always think about your goal and keep going, and like don't let your ambition own you, but own your ambition. So know your why and know your goal.
And
I love
I
So
that.
think it takes a lot of
Own your
discipline
ambition.
too.
Yeah, I
it's a
love
lot
that.
of discipline. It's a lot of discipline.
And
But
to go back to your point, Sula, like that discipline is not only like living below your means, but that discipline is also reminding yourself of what the end goal is,
exactly.
right? Because a lot of times we set an end goal and then we start going like this, right? And we forget about it. Wait a second, why am I doing this? Because is this gonna, I love how you said that is what I'm doing gonna help me get to the end points. And I think a lot of us need to remember that endpoint requires discipline. We
Yeah.
have to always keep
Yeah,
that in front.
exactly. That is the main thing. Is like, why is my purpose? And you have to make yourself your best project. So
Oh, ow, I love that.
yeah,
Wow.
it's
Nuggets,
Oh
nuggets. Own
my
your ambition
God.
and make yourself your best
Oh
project.
my God,
That's
I
yeah,
love that.
that's
so
awesome.
anyway, and also you have to be trustworthy. Um, the power of loyalty that I was talking to you is knowing who opened the door for you, knowing keep in contact. You know, a lot of us get the commission check and forget about the client,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but you have to keep loyal to that client and more loyal to the person that
Hmm.
gave you that client.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have some calls them my rainmakers. And yes, they are people that know your worth,
Hmm.
know they trust you and they trust you with their friends.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you stay loyal, sometimes you get you get deals that you don't know where they came from. You
Right.
weren't you could have been chasing it by yourself.
Right.
They just show up in your door because
Yep.
they trust you.
Yeah.
So you have to be your worth. You that is your loyalty is your sacred asset.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Sula, I want to talk a little bit about your kind of your buy box when you're looking at a property to invest in. And so,
Hmm.
uh, are you looking only for long-term hold? Are you looking to flip? What's that buy box look like for you as an investor?
you know it's funny at the beginning it was because they were cheap.
Hmm. Yeah.
There, I have a funny story. I represented a client with a townhome in Tampa, and you know, he was the brother of one of my best friends. So I felt like I need to help him somehow. So anyway, we put the beautiful the townhome together, and it fell through twice. And
Oh,
I was
damn,
like,
Oh
Sula.
no.
Camille,
ah,
shut off your camera. You're good, Sula. Camille, shut off
okay.
your camera, please. Thank you.
It fell off out of contract twice, and
Oh.
we already were in had an offer in his house in his new home, and that was contingent
Oh geez.
him
Right.
selling it.
Yeah.
And I was like, but in the process, watching it falling twice, I was
Hmm.
like, okay. It's like this has good bones. It's in a great location. ASU, so you see location, ASU is so close,
Hmm.
and you start, how much can I rent this for?
Yeah.
And not to him, but I was like, how much can I rent this for? And then when you have the thing, we have 15 days to close, not to lose the other deal.
Mm.
So I, and that's the power of your word. So I called my sister and I was like, I need money fast. I need to buy this. And then she said, why? And she believed, I mean, if you have to love what you are selling,
Yeah.
so you grab their attention. So I told my sister, look, this can give us this much money a month. So and if you want to keep going with me, great. If not, I buy you out. So
Yeah.
we went there 50-50. So I went there and I
Mm.
said, hey, can I buy your house? I said, these are the two offers that we have had. Less my commission. This was going to be your net. So I buy you the home for the net. Is that okay?
Cool.
And he was like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
We close it in 15. My sister sent the money. We close in 15 days and I still have that.
That's
So
Wow.
cool.
so it's always thinking about what can I do with this.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Portland on the Park Unit 408. That was more, that was, I got that based on my credibility and and because my rainmaker introduced me to the owner of that unit.
Oh.
So I went for just a presentation, And I was not even chasing the listing.
Mhm.
I went there because she told him that I have a good eye and I will tell him what to do in that unit to
Oh,
sell it. So I was like, okay, I go. So I went there, not even chasing the thing. And he said, what would you do here? I said, I will create that in the bathroom. I will do this. I will paint this. And he looked at me and said, but the truth is, this stresses me out. And I'm not in this business. I'm not. He had bought that unit for his niece, and his niece just abandoned the unit.
oh,
Yeah. So he said, I want to get rid of this. And I have offered clients, neighbors, this unit, and I'm waiting for them to tell me if they want it or not. But I know that you will make it beautiful, so I'm offering it to you. For
oh,
he said, what is the price, the market price? I said, well, I can sell it for 465. He said, give me 400 and get it. I was like,
wow.
Oh, wow.
so, and that is the power of low
Yeah.
Yes.
credit score. I call the banks, I need a loan now. I need it fast. I don't have something. So, and I told him, yes. I said, I'm going, before the other neighbors jump in, I was like,
Mhm.
yes, I'm going to do it. So I recruit my sister, my ex-husband, and everything. I need the money.
Yeah, yeah.
And my first mentor, I said, can you please give me the money? So they gave me the money. I gave it to him, and I sold one of my rentals because that is one of my rentals it was my first transaction with Nick when he
Oh,
was
cool.
still in Realty Executives. So it was like
Wow.
that rental
Wow.
was on 7th Street and Northern. And even though I love the complex, it faces Northern.
Right.
So it was like,
Ah,
if one has to go, is this.
yeah.
Mm.
So I make it beautiful and it sold really fast. So with that
Cool.
money, I pay the people that gave me the money. I say,
Wow.
okay. And I got yeah, and by then I already, the mortgage went through.
Mm,
Yeah.
So I had that mortgage.
gotcha.
Sula, like I feel like listening to you, some people some people don't take risk, right? Some people are just they don't take risk at all, and some people might say like, well, she's taking a risk buying this this property. But when I'm hearing you talk, it's not so much about risk, it's about capitalizing the opportunities,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
It's about, hey, this opportunity just showed up. Yes, there's going to be risk in everything. There's going to be a risk in everything, but this opportunity is probably not going to. I'm not going to get this opportunity again, and
Correct.
and you have to have the courage. And some people just are not built that way, right? Some people are not just built that way, and they're very conservative, and they just no. This is my little box, and I don't want to mess it
Hmm.
up. But
Mhm.
I think for you, the way that I'm hearing you speak and the way you've built up this big portfolio of 10 houses that have been paid off is that when you see an opportunity, you really dial in and you see, is this a good opportunity that I can capitalize? And if I can, you're not wasting time. You're
No,
like, let's go, right?
no.
Yeah.
And I
Because
really
if
like
you
that.
waste time, somebody else take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to do this. So, but that, like, having the goal helps because you're like, I still have the nest egg. I mean, the funds to keep
Yeah.
going. So now I just put it in the stock market because so. But anyway, that one, Portland on the Park, was supposed to be a flip because I was like, I already have 60,000, 65,000 in equity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It fell out of contract twice. So
Oh.
Mhm.
because I was like, you know what? If it falls out of contract, and probably Sam remembers this, that I was like, let's rent it, but let's put a really high price. At that time, that price was not was unheard of here, but it was. I was like, let's just risk. So let's list it for a high price. So if I find another person that wants to buy and it goes again in contract under contract, then I sell it. If not, we rent it.
Yeah.
I put it on rent. And guess who broke the client? It's like
Nick.
Natasha.
Oh, right on.
Mhm.
That's how I met Natasha.
Oh,
And
cool.
Natasha brought the client to rent. And he ended up being the assistant coach of the Phoenix Suns. So,
Nice.
so he had the money to pay.
Yeah, he did.
So I was like, wow, okay. And it was perfect because we were that year, those 3 years that he was here, the Phoenix Suns were in the highest point.
Mm,
So
Mm.
we enjoy family seats.
nice.
I mean, it was beautiful. And after him, I was like, you know what? I can that place now. Well, it's a little harder to sell it in Portland on the Park, but that place already is worth 200,000, at least 200,000 more
Nice.
than I.
Right.
And
That's good.
Right.
it has paid itself because
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the rental I pay more than the mortgage and the HOA together.
right, right. That's
Oh,
awesome.
amazing.
That's
Amazing.
awesome.
So are you always looking for your next investment? I mean, right now for you, would it make sense to get an investment property?
Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Because I'm not looking anymore, and that's why I guess I told Chris one day that I am not doing it anymore
Right, yeah, but still,
because I'm already
you got your 10.
You're
I have
capped.
my 10,
Yep.
and what
You're almost 50.
I'm all over 50.
I know, I'm
Mhm.
being silly.
I know. No, and right now it's like I want to do what makes my heart
Yeah,
happy. And I already achieved the financial freedom that I needed.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
we were talking yesterday with Sam, and I said, "What is your HOA?" My HOA is almost 800. So I live in an $800 rental because
Right,
Mhm.
in a great spot. And 800, where can you find an $800 rental? Nowhere.
nowhere.
And like, so we live cheaper than people that cannot even rent something for 800.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
Mhm.
and then if I start selling my properties, not right now because I'm still strong, I can still do things,
hmm
but
yeah,
in maybe 10 years,
yeah,
one by one, I don't have kids, and that money is my retirement.
yeah,
Right.
So it's
Right.
like I already achieved that,
yeah,
Right.
and now I love to learn. So now I know, boss, that you probably want me to do floor time, but but how I see it, I work hard my entire life, and
yeah,
now I want to do things that make me happy.
yeah.
So
So, and floor time doesn't make you happy, and that's cool. I want to back up kind of to the beginning because you made an interesting comment when you came from Ecuador and you didn't know about mortgages and stuff that were available to purchase properties and how it was such a monumental thing for you to have your first property. So it's always fascinating me other countries. So in Ecuador, is ownership of real estate, is that just so far a few? Is it such a
it
lofty goal or is it just extremely
it used to
difficult?
be. It used
Okay. Okay.
And now there is loans, but there's like 15-year loans
Okay.
Mhm.
and high interest. So now, I mean, it's a goal that is not as achievable as here.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also my dad my dad told me, I mean, the not having debt
hmm
was in my roots. I have a brother that is extremely successful, and he makes money out of when with debt. I mean,
Oh, okay.
with
Mm.
loans. So
Yeah.
he has high loans, but he's extremely successful. I mean,
Okay.
I'm nothing next to him. It's like so.
Gotcha.
But and he always tells me, "Oh no, you should do this, you should do that." But in my head, I was like, I don't think like you. We have two different ways of
Yeah.
making money,
Yeah.
and you're working, 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 high stress job, high stress, high stress. I said, but I like my life
Yeah.
peaceful. I like
Yeah.
to know that.
Yeah.
So, and that has always been my goal. So I live beneath my means to be able to pay the HELOC, to be able to pay the mortgages.
Right.
I could pay the mortgage at Portland, but it's like, why? It's
Yeah.
such a small,
Right.
it's such a small amount.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's $500 a month.
Right.
Right.
So you basically have, and so basically for your real estate portfolio, you're spending $1,300 a month
Yeah,
in an
Wow.
HOA and a HELOC.
Wow.
That's
exactly.
awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
you
And
know, I don't
it's
need that.
interesting too that Sula, like like there are two different ways, of thinking. Like there's some financial advisors that would say, hey, look, debt is good, right? Debt is
Mhm.
good and leverage the debt, right? And then there's others that, hey, debt free is great, And so I think neither one is good or bad. It
Mhm.
just comes down to, I guess, the threshold of the person, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
The
yes.
threshold of the person, like, do you, like, so like just in our instance, right? My wife has a little bit of student debt, right? Student loans. And we're like, let's just pay it off. Let's just pay it off. And our wealth advisor is like, no, don't pay it off. It's such a low interest rate. Instead, what you would pay, just put it in a high yield savings, right? And then you're
Mhm.
just gonna make the money. But like for us, we're like, we just want to pay it off. He's like, no,
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't make sense, right? And so it's kind of with you and your brother, it's one of those things like you have to find out what you're comfortable with, right? Because there are two different ways of thinking it, and both of them are okay.
Exactly. And it's what you are comfortable with. I remember telling him, you know what? I don't know how to invest in other things. I know how to do real estate. So I know how to do this. And I like my life stress free.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
nowadays I volunteer a lot for the Humane Society. I am in the clinic. And, it's just something that I said, maybe my call is veterinary medicine. And
Mm.
I look at it,
Going back to school. Sula's gonna go back
yeah,
to
I said,
school.
I'm too old for this, but I can do the vet technician. But
Yeah.
I, they have allowed me, and this is one of the things that I see. There's a lot of people in the clinic. There's doctors, there's
Mhm.
technicians, and sometimes I look at the technicians standing there doing nothing, and I'm like, my gosh, it's like you want to go ahead, participate, go
Yeah.
in, do it. And they are doing their practices, and I'm like, no, do it. So I am more inside the operating room than they are. So
Wow.
I said, because they said, oh, you are so proactive. Come over. Come. So open your own opportunities.
Yeah.
So you cannot
Yes.
sit there and do nothing. Um,
Yes.
so in my first business one of my ambitions was never to work for anybody.
Yeah.
So in Ecuador, I started in a travel agency, and
Cool.
of course, I was doing tickets, but I was like, I cannot live doing tickets my entire life.
Mm.
So I was like, I go to my boss and said, hey, I probably have a better English than any of them. Let me help you with your. There was no email, there was fax.
Mm.
No, not even fax. It was telex. It was,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
let me write those for you. Let me and she was like, okay. You learn so much from the transactions she was
Mm.
making that you're like,
Mm.
I can do this. I can
Yeah.
do this myself. So, and you keep learning and learning and learning. And then I was helping the lady that was doing the packages, the Galapagos packages, and all the tours inside the Ecuador. I was like, you know what? You make way more money doing this. So I was
Mm.
like, I can do both. And that is when I say chase opportunities. So I remember sitting
Yeah.
in the office, and there was this guy, American guy, that showed in. Everybody, and the boss was not there. And everybody was just looking at him. And I go and said, how can I help you? And he said, I am writing a book about the Galapagos, and I
Oh.
make an appointment with your boss. And I was like, she's not here, but but I felt bad for my boss. I said, but let me help you because I assist her, so I probably can answer some of the questions.
Yes,
So
Jeremy, take your
yes,
screen off.
so anyway, I helped him, and he laughed, and he was like, "Thank you so much." His first book about the Galapagos, there's a little paragraph dedicated to me because she answered the questions when nobody else did. So, and then 3 months later, he contacted me and said, Sula, I realize how good of a business is being in the Galapagos. And I have created a travel agency here in the US to go to the Galapagos. I want you to represent me in Ecuador. I was like, oh. So,
Wow.
and he said, I will send you one group a month, 12 people. I will take the part of the Galapagos, but I give you the rest of the mainland for you to do whatever you want. And I was great. I knew already how to create packages. I knew who the guides were, how to get the deals in the hotels because I have helped my boss and the other lady that were doing that. So I knew how to do it. So that's when I said, create your own opportunities. Keep looking. Keep keep trying. And so I ended up representing him until I met my husband.
And to go even further, Sula, like what I'm hearing is that you are so eager to learn, and you're always curious,
Yes,
and a lot of this curiosities to learn something new or just find out about something has led to those new opportunities. And so I think some of us sometimes we just get in this vision of like, okay, this is what I need to do, blah, blah, blah. And we don't take the time to maybe learn something new or
right,
explore something else. And just like you said, like with this veterinarian, with the Humane Society, all of a sudden you have this new renewed passion of something that you might have not ever known, right? Had
right,
you not been curious, right?
exactly,
And because she's built her empire, she has the ability to do that. So all of you that are in the 777 Club that are just starting real estate, really, you need to follow Sula's like approach to life and real estate, and the fact that she accomplished what she wanted to accomplish by the time she was 50. So she doesn't have to do floor time. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do. She can just walk her dogs, hang out, and have tea all day if that's her desire that day, because she's built a world that she wanted to build by
Yeah.
by following her own steps and her own rules. So amazing, amazing lesson to be learned. And it only took us 3 times to get you on the show. I don't know what it is about everybody. 3 times to come on the show. Just when we ask you the first time, just come on the show. Just come on the show.
The opportunity wasn't there just yet,
Right. It
it
was
took,
there,
you
Sula.
know.
It's been there. I love this. You're fascinating. How many languages do you speak?
that's funny. I speak English. Well,
Yeah, well, no, you do. You speak really good English.
You do.
Nick says that he doesn't understand me, but
Well, that's because Nick just
I
likes to give you
speak
shit.
I speak Spanish, and
Okay.
I spent time in Italy as an exchange student, so I
Okay.
learned Italian as well.
Okay. So 3 languages.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Ecuador, do they speak Spanish? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. That's why I asked. Okay. Cool.
We speak Spanish, and in every school they teach you English.
Okay.
But you have to. I mean, they teach you English enough to be able to answer things, but not enough for conversational. So you have to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I learned English watching Married with Children because it
Did you
was my
really?
Oh my
That's
goodness.
awesome.
so I used to just watch Married with Children and I laugh and I learn. So
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That was the last thing that show expected to teach anybody
I
when it launched. I'm
I
going to teach people from another country how to speak English. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
but
You know,
when I moved here, because I came from the travel industry, I
Yeah.
wanted to work for the travel industry. So
Okay.
I went for an interview at Biltmore. The Arizona Biltmore, that at that time was a really cool hotel. I mean, was one of the best, if not the best. And they said they didn't have anything for me. And the guy said, come in a month. Maybe in a month we have something for you.
Okay.
Okay. I went exactly 1 month later. He said, you told me to come in a month, and it's a month. So do you have something for me? And they said, well, you can work at the front desk. I was like, so let's see if your boss likes you. So I went there, and the boss comes out, and my English was bad, and so he looks at me and said, Sula Myers, you don't look like Sula, and you don't look like Meyer either. That's it. So, and that was a strategy too, because I wanted to keep my other name, but I was like, it's easier to find a job if I have an American name.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so
Jeremy wants you to expand on your volunteerism. I mean, he says you're being way too humble when it comes to your volunteer work.
but because it's volunteer work, you don't have to just.
I know. See, I agree with you. Anything you do from a volunteer, you do it for yourself. It doesn't need to be showcased. You're not doing it for other people to see and other people like, oh, wow, look at that. I don't like when people, they're walking down the street giving and their cameras are following them, $100,000 views because this celebrity's giving a homeless guy $100. Shut up, man. You did that for the camera to make yourself feel good.
Exactly.
So you don't need to share what you don't want to share, because the fact that timers are most valuable asset. So anytime you're giving of yourself, I don't think it has to be shown to the world. But Jeremy did want to point out that you're being humble when it comes to that. But if you don't want to expand on that, I'm totally fine with it, because I'm the same way. I don't do things for people to say, oh, look what Chris is doing. I just do things because it makes me feel good, and it's food for the soul.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go, Jeremy.
Sula, what's on the horizon for you? I've
nothing, man.
I've met you.
Do nothing. Her
I've
horizon
met you a
is whatever
handful
the
of
hell she
times.
wants.
I know you from the office. We've had very superficial conversations, but I mean, after this, I'm super impressed.
See?
You're amazing. So what is your next endeavor? Like what are you pursuing now? Now that you've hit that one benchmark.
She had a lot of benchmarks.
You know what? I love family. Family for me is the number one thing. Cool. So my mom was diagnosed with dementia 5 years ago.
Oh no!
And the care that we have been able to give her has kept her steady for 5 years.
Oh, good.
So my goal right now, and that's why I'm not making other plans right now, is to be with her as long as she can remember me.
Cool.
So we are doing, we are 3 siblings. So we are doing every other month, 15 days with mom. Oh. So that's why you see me going all the time.
Oh, and gotcha.
I'm grateful I have Sam to take care of my dog.
Yeah. Way to go, Sam. Yeah. There's a Sam shout out.
Yeah. No, it has been a big help, because the most, I love my dog, and like if I keep spending every other month 15 days with mom, I'm going to lose 2 years out of my dog's life.
Wow.
And because of so I'm like, but knowing that he loves Sam and he is so happy staying there, it gives me the peace of mind of saying, you know what, these 5 years, if my mom can be steady for 5 more, I can. So right now my focus is family, is being able to go there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you happy. And that's kind of cool aspect of what you said earlier. You accomplish what you accomplish. So when you hit a certain point of rentals and age, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Love that.
Sula, I'm curious, with all the properties here in the United States, have you invested in Ecuador?
You know what? That is, each time I go there, I go visit some units. It's like out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And also because I'm like, But there is a new building right next to my mom's. and I saw a unit there. But first, the political situation in Ecuador is
Right.
stable, and second, I'm like, when I come here is to be with my mom. So if I have a unit myself, it defeats the purpose of
Yeah.
being with mom. So
Because
as
then your
long as,
brain's going to be, yeah, your brain's going to
yeah,
be split. You're going to be focused on this over here when you want to be focused on mom
exactly.
over there. Yeah.
So it's like, as long as I can stay with my mom, it's fine.
Yeah.
So as long as my mom is alive, that is not something that I want to pursue, but the curiosity is there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be really interesting to see if we can get somebody on the show, or if you at some point invest in international, because like my family's in Nicaragua, my dad's in Nicaragua, and it's so, I mean, you can buy a beach house in Nicaragua for 150,000.
oh
But do
yeah,
you, but do you own the land? Like in America, you own the land,
oh
right?
yeah,
So
you
Yeah,
in,
own,
yeah,
okay.
yep,
Okay. I didn't,
yep,
well, I didn't know, that's why I asked.
yeah,
So you own the land, everything.
yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
cool.
Like right now, next to my mom is there's a really nice unit for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
just little for like 180, and I
Okay.
was like, I could do that.
Okay.
Right.
So 180 for a small unit in
Or
Ecuador, but in Nicaragua, you can buy a beachfront property for 150 grand.
Yeah, a four bedroom.
yeah,
Wow.
My mom's cousin has it and he's selling it. And he told my mom
Wow.
about it. And I'm like, what? Like, and he sent me
Wow.
pictures and everything. But here's the thing with, at least I don't know how it is in Ecuador, but in Nicaragua, it's very hard to get loans
yeah,
because one of the big things is that the addresses aren't really addresses. So like
Oh.
a lot of the addresses over in Nicaragua, it's like the fifth house after you pass the mailbox,
That's
right?
a legal description?
That's, yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
it's crazy. And
Wow.
the craziest thing is that in Puerto Rico is the same way.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Puerto Rico is the US. So my
Right.
sister lives in Puerto Rico, and she was like, in the how when she sends me the address, I was like, so I go to the post office and said, this is the address. And he looks at it and said, what is exactly the address? So I called my sister. Here, there's two things. He said, well, is the garita that is close to this? I said,
Yeah.
that's how it's done here.
Yeah.
Just put it and
Wow.
it will show up.
So with that being said, the financing aspect of both those your countries is difficult because there's no actual address or legal description. So how do they
Yeah.
what are loopholes for what are the hurdles for financing? I guess is the question.
So what I've been told is that you have to get like through the government, like a legal post, like a post,
Okay.
like how we have here, because it's just in order to track it, and they need to
Okay.
verify that you registered. I mean, it's just another whole conversation. From
Okay.
what I've
Okay.
heard, I've never done
Okay.
anything, but I've
Okay.
had the curiosity.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
wondering
No, in
Yeah.
the Ecuador there is addresses, but they is a like buying a home takes 3 months. Is the bureaucracy and it's
Right.
having
Okay.
finding. I mean, obtaining a loan is like obtaining the U.S. visa. Like
Mhm.
you
Ah,
you
okay.
have to show up with a folder full of all the assets you have, the bank accounts for the last 6 months, because it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
obtain. So
Okay. That's awesome. You've been
What
fantastic,
does
Sula.
anybody have any questions for
Yeah.
Sula on the
Yeah.
chat?
There's been some comments in the gallery just praising you and
oh,
yeah, just people love you and everything that you do. Because
Yes.
how could you
thank
not? You're fantastic.
Well,
I
thank you so
appreciate you.
thank you so
Yeah.
much, Sula, for coming on
Hmm.
the show. And
Yeah.
you had so many nuggets. I mean, I
I
think
know,
the
right?
biggest one, the biggest one that I mean, I was like, wow, this really touched me is be your best project.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is amazing. I love that. I love
I
that.
put one. I put one on the page. Own your own on our broker sub page. Own your ba- Oh my gosh. Own your ambition. Say it 3 times fast while walking backwards and chewing gum.
And everybody's making fun of Sula's English. I think your English,
Right? Right? I had a long weekend, man. And I don't even drink, okay? It was one of those things. You come to a pinnacle of your thing, and all of a sudden it's done. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired now. Crazy.
Bueno, gracias,
Anyway,
Sula. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you for
Hey,
having
say goodbye to us all in Spanish, Sula. Rip it off like a band-aid.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
De tu
Gracias.
Thank
propio
you,
proyecto.
everybody. You guys are awesome. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I gotta figure
Bye.
out how to stop this. I always have to figure out how to stop this, Marco. Where's
Okay.
the stop button? Oh no, no, that's the end button. I don't want to end. I want to stop
All
it.
right.
Dude, she was good, man.
Amazing.
I've been
That was
bugging her to come
amazing.
on forever. Hi, Camille.
Oh, you're muted,
But,
Camille. You're muted.
well,
Are we allowed to be on camera now? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Sula still there?
no, she left.
Ah,
Oh,
she
crap.
left.
Okay, never mind.
There.